What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. Today's Friday, yay! And it's a holiday weekend too, so I hope you guys all have a safe and happy, good Memorial Day weekend. And you know, today is Friday, so that means it's Q&A. And for those of you who don't know what the Q&A is, every Friday, sometimes Saturday, but primarily Friday, I answer your questions. So in order to participate, all you have to do is leave a question in the comments below, and then comment on the video and as a question, and I will answer it in the next Q&A or one of the Q&As. Don't find me on Instagram and go through that whole DM thing. I'm not going to see it. I have seen people's questions from like 2 months ago in a DM that I don't get them. I have to, it's like, it's almost like comes into spam, so to speak, and it's weird kind of thing. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you know, I'm just not going to see it, and I don't check. So simple as that, just in the comments below. And then also, if you guys can, I'd really appreciate it if you watch the entire video, because I said this before, a lot of times I'll get the exact same question that someone asked. Like I will say, leave your question in the comments below, and then someone will ask me almost an identical question of the Q&A, which tells me you didn't watch the video, you just, you know what I mean? So the attention spans, man, you know what I mean? It's pretty simple. I'm not trying to scold anybody, I'm just trying to say, you know, because I get a lot of questions and it saves your time and my time. But so I appreciate you guys. Today I am wearing my Zenith Pilot, and so let's roll the intro and we'll get into the Q&A. Alrighty, cool. So the first question comes from Michael Saraceno, 3438. Hey Tony, curious about what you said during the opening, how your GMT is finding more of its place in the watch box these days. Is that due to the watch being a coveted piece that you're preserving, or are you simply past the honeymoon stage and it's finding less time in the rotation? I'm still trying hard to get this piece in the collection. I'd also be curious to know if you have any thoughts on what the current wait time is for this watch. Are we still looking at a year to 18 months or longer? Thanks, have a great weekend, and get yourself a cannoli. Hey, how you doing there, Michael Saracen? You get a cannoli. Who are you doing? Who are you talking to, huh? All right, man, thanks for your question. So, yeah, I'm well past the honeymoon period on my GMT Master II. And it doesn't mean I don't love the watch. I still love the watch, you know, but I'm past the honeymoon period on this, and I wear this every single day, you know. But I guess I just don't wear it. It's got nothing to do with it being a coveted piece. I don't like, you know, I don't have it on a pedestal in a glass box, levitating in circles going, oh, you know what I mean? It's just that it's there. I don't wear it that much. Just one of those things, yeah. So do I think the wait list, what's the wait list? I don't know what the wait list is on those things. I didn't know what the wait list was even back when they were a year to 18 months. I think it was longer than that, quite a bit longer, and some people didn't even get them or aren't going to get them. So I don't know. It depends on your AD and how you approach your AD and how you conduct yourself while you're in the AD. Also, what is your spend history? Have you bought other things? You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be big spend history, I'm sure. I'll give a perfect example. That another one of my viewers, Luis, literally bought his very first Rolex, his very first watch at Bindi was a Rolex Explorer. Second watch, I think, was a Nomos for his girlfriend. Then his girlfriend bought him a Speedmaster, and then his next watch he got the GMT Master II Batman. So again, coming down to all being just cool, you know, and hopefully your AD is cool too. Wish you the best of luck on that, dude. Hope you get it. The next question, sometimes these pages stick together, not stick together, but they kind of stick together, I guess. I don't know. Next question would be from Jeff B321. Tony, it would be sick if you sent your bracelet to a restorer and got it repinned. I'm sure you have thought of the option. It would be interesting to hear your insight next Friday. Take care. Enjoy as always. Thanks, Jeff. I actually explained this, right? When you have Jubilee stretch, he's talking about my vintage Datejust. It has a little bit of stretch, but not a ton of stretch. And you can get the Jubilee bracelet completely repinned, like restored. And I stated this previously, it's not a good idea to do that because, one, it's expensive. You're looking $700-800, if not even more. And you've already got worn metal, so even if there's new pins in there, those holes that the pins go through are also worn out, so it's going to correct a lot of the stretch, but not all of it. So you're still going to have some stretch. You can buy a vintage Jubilee bracelet from Rolex, and they're like $1,100. So you can get them. You go to the AD and ask them, and they can get them for you. I know this for a fact because Bindi actually got one for me, and I didn't buy it because I wasn't. They told me that you can get it, and I asked how much it was. They said $1,100. I said, okay, maybe I'll do it next time. And then I went in to meet the president of Zenith, and one of the reps came up to me, not Juan, my normal rep. He goes, "Oh, I got that bracelet for you," and I was like busy with talking to people, and I didn't mean to blow them off, but I did, and I just forgot about it, so I never picked it up. But you can get a brand new bracelet. That's the route I would go. Thank you, though. Thanks for your question, man. This is from Crazy Joe Devola. Another great Q&A. Is there a two-tone Rolex model that you like or would own? Not typically. I'm not too much into two-tone. However, my buddy Lincoln, when I was in Nashville, has a couple of two-tone Datejust. One with a slate dial, I believe, with indices, which I really, really liked. It was rose gold. Stainless steel rose gold, and I really did like that watch. I don't know if I like it enough to where I would spend the money on it, because I do just generally prefer stainless steel watches, or if it was all white gold, like a day date. But I'm not generally into two-tone, so I don't know. But I may change my mind one day, and I might go, oh, I'm gonna have to get that, and I might. So yeah, there is, but it would most likely be in the Datejust line or the GRNR two-tone 126710 GRNR. Is that what it is? GMT Master II in the two-tone that came out last year. Sick watch. Thanks for your question, man. This comes from Paul Green. Two-part question. Paul Green 7483. You often say you sold a particular watch. Do you have a go-to place to sell? Also, love the guitar work on the intro. Thanks, man. What should I search for to hear the second half of the Flamenco song? Okay, so I don't really have a go-to place. I have sold a couple watches to Watchbox, like my Omega, Cartier, a Mont Blanc, I believe, and probably a few others, I don't know. But then also there's a place called Watch Payer that we pay you more than Watchbox, and I've used them on a couple of watches. But I don't have a go-to place, you know what I mean? It's like, and you can always find, it also depends what watch you're selling too, you know what I mean? So I wish I could help you a little bit more on that, but I just don't know, Paul. As far as the second half, that Flamenco was a music video. Oh my gosh, what's the name of it? The album was called Another Rainy Day, it's called Love Gone, I think. And there's a video on YouTube for the entire song, and I think if you just put in Tony Gamble Love Gone, there would be an official video for that, and that's there. If I have time tonight or room, I may put it on here, but I don't want to get a copyright hit. I always get copyright hits on my music. If it's like using someone else's music, YouTube doesn't know that that's my music, you know what I mean? So you can do that. But eventually, maybe I will put it up one day. I don't know. But it is on YouTube. So, all right, man. Thanks. Gary Bifolco, 4548. I never heard you talk about the Submariner Hulk. What are your thoughts? It's a Submariner, and it's green. It's got a green dial and a green bezel. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. Too much green, I guess. I don't think I would wear it. Back in 2018, Bindi had one in stock. You could have just bought it, you know what I mean? But it's cool. I mean, yeah, I don't have too much to say about it. I mean, if people like it, that's cool. It's not my jam. I do like green watches, but it's just a little too much green. I mean, I like the Starbucks, you know, the green bezel, black dial, but just the Hulk itself, and plus it's you know, aluminum bezel. You know what I mean? Which I'm not really into that, so I don't know. They're cool though. It's a Rolex. They're worth money still, you know. So, thanks for your question, man. Hey Tony, what are your thoughts on the 60th anniversary 1957 Omega Railmaster? The smaller case size at 38 millimeter really makes this piece have a vintage feel and looks amazing on a bracelet or a strap. Between this and a Speedy, I don't know. I was never a fan of the Railmaster. I did take a look at it though. I mean, it's nice looking on a strap. I wouldn't put it on a bracelet, but on a strap it looks pretty cool. I don't know too much about it, and 38 millimeters is actually the perfect size. And you're saying between a 38 millimeter Railmaster or a Speedy, you're looking at a 38 millimeter versus a 42 millimeter manual wind. But your Speedy is going to be the icon, right? So best of luck with whichever one you choose. This is from Johannorin 2787. Awesome video, Tony. Thanks. Thank you. What is it with Zenith Pilot that makes you wear it every day and like it so much? And how is the finish on the watch compared to Rolex? There's a few reasons. One, it's super legible. I mean, I don't even need my glasses on to tell what time it is. You know what I mean? And that's a shot because I can't see. You guys are all blurry now. Or actually, I'm blurry because I'm looking at myself. But it's super legible. It is super accurate now. It's so understated and goes under the radar. You know that it's the fact is you're the only one who knows you're wearing it unless a watch geek gets real close up to you and looks at it and goes, "Oh my God, are you wearing a Zenith Pilot?" Whatever. For the most part, you can't tell that. You don't know it's an $8,000 watch, and I actually like that. It's like I'm so in myself, not flashy. I mean, that's why I don't wear Rolex out too much, not because I'm scared of getting jacked or anything like that. It's just that generally I don't care what other people think what I'm wearing or not. You know what I mean? Because I don't wear watches for other people. I wear them for me. If I go to an event or a party or whatever it may be, then I'll wear a Rolex or something like that. But for the most part, this is just the perfect everyday watch, man. And 40 millimeter fits perfect. 60-hour power reserve, and yeah, again, super legible. I like it. You know, so that's what it is. And is the polishing? Yeah, I mean the polishing is actually better than Rolex. I mean, I say better. Rolex's polishing is real good, but you've got a little bit more detail in the Zenith, and I don't know if I'll be able to show this to you. But even in the buckle, there's beveling that's polished. So even the buckle is brushed and polished. See if you can see that. But you've got brushed polishing and. Yeah, I mean, there's a little more detail to the polishing on this than your general Rolex, you know. So that's pretty much why, I guess. So I appreciate your question, man. Wow. Niner, hey Tony, appreciate all you're doing for viewers by answering our questions. No problem, man. I like doing it. I wanted to ask, what would you recommend I do about getting a few watches insured after the fact? I've had two previous claims. One claim didn't have to pay out since the watch manufacturer fixed it for free, and the second claim was because a watch was stolen out of my gym locker. Currently, Brightco is going to drop me, understandably, I guess. I don't see why that's understandable at all. Dinky denied me. Are there any insurance companies you recommend? Could I just put the watches I want to insure it in my wife's name? Thanks again, man. That's a tough one, dude. I don't know why they would drop you if you've only had one claim, and it depends on what kind of watch and how much they paid out. The other claim that you had where it was fixed for free, it shouldn't be a mark against you because they didn't pay anything out. Generally what it is the reason why an insurance company will or won't pay or mark you, one is if you file a claim and then you don't follow through with it because they say fix the watch, then that claim should be closed with, you know, like erased, you know what I mean? It's still a claim that's on the record though, that's the thing, right? But nothing was paid. Another thing they'll look at is if there's red flags, fraud elements. You know, is there fraud detectors? Was there little red? You know, that's the whole thing. You know, when depending on what kind of watch that was stolen, you know, investigators do a whole lot more than what you might think and know a whole lot more than what you might think. I'm not saying that you did anything wrong, but at the same time, they'll look the risk versus, you know, reward, so to speak. Are you a high risk or are you a safe investment? Because, you know, replacing, you know, a lot of people hate insurance companies, but the problem, the bottom line is there's a lot of fraud. And the reason why insurance rates for cars or homes or whatever is because of the amount of fraud, the amount of money insurance companies have to pay out. And that just because there's so much fraud. Now keep in mind, insurance companies pay out on fraudulent claims all the frickin' time, you know, because in order to deny a claim that's fraudulent, not only do you have to prove 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt that there's fraud there, and enough to that if it went into any type of legal action, that there could be a conviction, right? So in auto insurance, what happens if there's a fraudulent claim? The insurance company may file what's called an EFD1. That puts a notification to that if there's any other claims, that there's a potential fraudulent claim pending, unbeknownst to the insured, because we don't have to notify you that an FD1 was filed, you know what I mean? So they may have their reasons why they're going to drop you. That's pretty strange that they would actually drop you. If you go to like try Jewelers Mutual, but I'm telling you, they probably won't insure you either if this other company is going to drop you. And if Dinky didn't take you, Jewelers Mutual probably most likely won't either. Then if you put it in your wife's name, that's a red flag as well, because it's another thing. It's like your wife is getting the insurance, but the watches don't belong to her, right? And she's not the one wearing the watches. So essentially they've got her. And then if there's a claim, something happens to your watch, that investigation is going to go, they're going to find out and they're going to say, nope, and they're most likely not going to cover it, dude. So I don't know what your situation is other than that, but I'd look around a little bit more, all right? So thanks for your question, dude. Sorry I couldn't probably help you out a little bit more, but this one comes from Metagirl. My favorite t-shirt. Cool. I don't know which one it was. It seems like most people ask you about rock guitarists. I'm curious as to, one, what guitarist or piece of music influenced you to switch to flamenco fusion? And what do you think Paco de Lucia would choose to wear in his off time? Well, yeah, people do ask me about rock guitar players a lot, don't they? And there wasn't anything that made me switch because, you know, I started playing classical guitar when I lived in England in the 80s, you know what I mean? And it just carried on through, and it's kind of like a natural progression. But essentially what really made me go, holy shit, was two guys called Struns and Farah. And they just blew me away, and they still do. And Ardeshir Farrar, we're friends on social media. He's a real nice guy, but you know, it's just that kind of style of music. I just, you know, there's such a fine line with classical, flamenco, and this, you know, styles of music. And it just got into it from there. You know, I mean, then I studied flamenco guitar in the late 80s as well, and you know, it was just a natural progression type thing for me. It wasn't really anything that made me go, I'm going from this to that, you know what I mean? It was just one of those things. So, and if Paco de Lucia was still alive, I could see him wearing the Patek Philippe Golden Ellipse 5738R. They're just super class, elegant, you know what I mean? I think he'd be wearing something like that. On his off time, he spent his off time in Mexico, funny enough, being from Spain, but in Mexico, and he loved fishing and diving and spear fishing and all of that stuff. He wasn't a flashy guy. He had a Jeep Cherokee, and you know, I think he would have worn something like just a Casio, you know, while he was doing that kind of stuff. But for the most part, a Patek Philippe Golden Ellipse would be my pick on what he would pick, the 5738R in rose gold. So yeah, that's what I think. Thanks for your question, Metagirl. This comes from Redondo_Dom. How do you feel about gold watches, and do you like the big brands are pushing precious metal now? How do I feel about gold watches? Depends what kind of watch it is, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like gold watches. I wouldn't wear like a a gold president, you know, day date. You know what I mean? It's too much gold, too blingy for me. But you know, I could see myself with a Patek Philippe 5119G, and that's 18 karat white gold, or a 5119R, that's rose gold, you know. So, but and do I think what do I feel about the big brands pushing precious metal now? I've got no problem with it, you know. I mean, they got to make money too. Not that they don't make money, but at the same time, it's like they have those watches, and that's, you know, there's a market for that. So they do also have to cater to those people that like those watches, you know. I know some people get bent out of shape, like Rolex are just pushing gold, you know, their precious metals now. It's like, dude, you know, not everything can be geared to you. You know what I mean? It's like they have to cater to everyone, you know what I mean? They've surely enough done enough catering to us people that like the stainless steels, the OPs, the Datejust, the Submariners, and things like that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't care. Good for them. Thanks for your question, though. Mike Clayton 2. Let's see how much time we got. Wow. I've still got quite a few questions here, I think. So let's see if we can bust through it. Mike Clayton 2. Hey, Tony, love your content. I was thinking about the Cartier Santos de Cartier. I hear they scratch very easily, and I hate to scratch my watches. Don't buy a Santos. I think I remember you saying that you had one in the past. Was your experience that they scratch super easily? I had two in the past. Yes, they do. You look at it the wrong way and it'll scratch. Go, you looking at me? Fuck you. Scratch. Yeah. If they're really scratch magnet, man. It's just, I like them though. Don't, you know, just try not to bump them, or wear a shirt that goes, or even a shirt over the cuff can scratch that bezel, man. It's crazy. Thanks for your question. Toasted Bagel 99. I love the guitar riff in the intro. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Glad we got 2 videos this week. I give 2 videos at least every week, and not sometimes 3. Question next time. Do you think it's worth it to get a Tissot PRX and a couple other entry-level automatic watches to start a collection, or just save the money for a Rolex? No, man. I think the whole journey before you get to a Rolex is buying watches like that, you know? I think people that I'm only going to get, it's like saying before I learn how to play guitar, I want to get a really nice Les Paul first instead of getting some shitty guitar. It's part of the journey, is to go through that, buy those watches, wear them, love them for a minute, you know, understand them, outgrow them, go into another brand or whatever it is that you know what I mean? Yes, I absolutely recommend buying cheaper watches, man. Start off with Swatch, Guess, Fossil, whatever. I don't know. But I do recommend that. And then get your Rolex. Thanks for your question, though. Yorkie Pooch Arley. What is your favorite thin dressier watch with leather strap? What's my favorite? Probably the Ronde Cartier. That's a nice one, 36 millimeter. Get that one in gold too for about $13,000. Get it in stainless steel for about $3,500. Is it 4? Is it 3? Yeah, it's 4,000. I think. I'm not sure. I think. Patek Philippe 5119R, 5119G. Longines makes some good dress watches, like the flagship. That's like $1,800. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of them. There's not just one. I can pick JLC, GG Lecoute, Master Thin, or Master Control Date. Yeah, I mean, actually the JLC. I love the JLC. Thanks for your question, man. Paul Thompson 9062. Hey Tony, thanks for another great Q&A. Thank you. As everyone keeps commenting, it's nice to hear honest chat with no BS. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I have a question for next week. With all the increase in quality of technology and machinery, do you think that Microbrands will eventually be as good quality as the big brands like Patek or Vacheron, but on a mass production scale and cheaper? I don't know. When you start saying mass production, then no. You know what I mean? Because part of the romance of brands like Patek, Vacheron, are the fact that they're handmade, you know what I mean? The way, and their history and their heritage, and how far back it goes. It's okay to make a microbrand. Plenty of put it this way, man. Timex make a better watch than fucking Patek, right? You know, or more reliable. I'm not gonna say better, but you know. So, and there's plenty of microbrands that are doing it, that are making, you know, watches that are really nice. But you know, as far as that goes, it's up to you. Look at Nomos. Nomos make a watch that's phenomenal at a ridiculously great price point, you know what I mean? And all handmade, all in-house, all handmade. I don't say all handmade, but it's all in-house, you know what I mean? Everything made in Glasuza, you know, even they even make their own hairsprings, balance wheels. everything is made at Nomos, and that's amazing, man. So they're there, and they're, you know what I mean. Thanks for your question, dude. Michael Jordan 6008. Wonderful opening. Thanks, man. I love your guitar playing. Thanks, man. Is an IWC Mark II a worthy competitor to the Rolex Oyster Perpetual? The IWC bracelet seems to be on par or better than some of the top tier companies. I don't know about their bracelet, dude. I've never tried one on. As far as a bracelet goes, leather straps, yeah, but I couldn't tell you about the bracelet. I don't know. You're looking also at the Mark XX is a, you know, what, $5,200 or something, whereas the Oyster Perpetual is, you know, like 6,000. So they're a close price point. The Mark XX has a Val Fleurier movement, I think. I think before they used to use the, like, just Eddas, like the Mark 17s. I'm not 100% sure. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But Val Fleurier, which is a Richemont group movement, you know. Are they? Yeah, I mean, it's up to you though too. I mean, the aesthetics of both of them are kind of different. You know what I mean? So really up to you on what you like. You know what I mean? Do you like just like that pilot style, or do you like the versatility of the Rolex? You know what I mean? And the prestige of the Rolex, I guess, if that's your thing. You know what I mean? So either one, yeah, they're both. I mean, the IWC Mark XX is my favorite IWC watch. So, and I've always been meaning to pick one up, but I never do. So, yeah, hope that answers your question at least to a certain degree, man. Team McNamara 5320. Tony, do you use watch rolls? If you do, which do you use? I have small wrists and the cushions are always too large, so I can't close the watch around the cushion. Any suggestions? Thanks. I do. I use when I do travel or anything like that, I have a Wolf watch roll. Really super soft, squishy pillow. Another thing is you might want to get a watch box, or, you know, another watch roll that has the pillows like this that are just, you can, no matter what size the watch is, small or whatever, it'll fit on this pillow. I have a 12 slot box with these little pillows in them. So I wish you the best of luck on that, man. All right, everyone, I thank you so much as always for your comments. Please like, subscribe, and if you're watching still at the end of this video, you're awesome. Thanks.